we take great pleasure, in fact, in introducing George and Christine, who are our wonderful hosts for the day. Very kind of them to provide us such a superb place. Obviously, we're enjoying that. Yeah. George is going to spend a few minutes telling us a bit about the programs that run here to make certain that you've got the chance to be involved if you'd like, and sign up for their distribution forms so that you can
actually pass those around.
So for a newsletter or something?
Just a little bit of information about us. And usually it's me introducing other groups and you're introducing me.
Well, nice change, George.
Yeah, okay. All right, so my name's George Neo, and we've been running this this place, a hub for information for about 15 years. But our personal journey goes much further back than that, maybe probably 40 years, when I was guided to really powerful information about who we are and where we're going, and how back then in the early 1980s we were heading down the path of destruction. Fortunately, the consciousness raised just enough that we didn't have to go through that. Right? And I can describe that in full detail if anybody wants the full information. It might be on one of our YouTubes actually, but I'll get into that. So so I've been involved with the freedom movement, and what I notice about this group, so organised. I mean, it's great. You know, sticky notes everywhere. That's fantastic, and that's what we need, right? It's something that I've put out so many times. Is from a quote from Martin Luther King Jr. is those who love peace must be as organised as those who love war. Yeah, makes sense. Yeah. And you've obviously got lots of experience in what you've been doing, and that's why you can do a full 8-hour workshop on this. You know, with your permission, can I invite people for Sunday? I can, yeah, for tomorrow. Yeah, because we'll be coming as well. Yep. So I'll send out a text very soon. And the one question I've got for this group is that, because I don't know yet, because I haven't attended the workshop, is it still working in 3D or is it multi-dimensional? Right? You don't have to answer, right? Okay. I'll give you. Sorry?
You might have to tell us.
Well, I'll give you an example or two, how we're shifting from an old paradigm into a new paradigm. And, you know, you could say we're going from the age of PCs to the age of Aquarius. That's exciting. And through a hint, this is an example which applies to what you're doing today, and that's the non-violent aspect. Non-violent effective action is the way I publicised it. But what if we changed it? No, I'm not suggesting you change it, but I'm saying, what about peaceful effective action? Doesn't that change the energy? Does it feel different? You know, I'm not criticising the situation, but it's been an old paradigm that we've been using violence to try and fix violence. You know, maybe. Well, there's a quote from Dan Millman and he says, "There is no way to peace. Peace is the way." Right? That made a lot of sense to me a long time ago. But anyway,
it's the same as what the.
Sorry?
It's the same as the debate about using the term anti-war versus peace movement.
Something like that. Yeah, yeah.
Use the positive instead of the negative.
Yes.
Yeah, but you've got to capture the attention of people. So non-violent is appropriate. You know.
Yeah, but it's using the word violent still.
Yeah.
So you're saying how do you rebrand that?
If you want to, I'm not saying suggesting you should.
Instead of an anti.
Yeah. Another example is, I call this the biggest lie of the industrial age, and that goes back hundreds of years, and that is that westernised economics calls us consumers, right? And that to me is a big lie. Right? We're actually producers, right? If we have this idea that we are consumers, and according to westernised economics, we're these selfish, nasty little greedy creatures that have to be controlled at all costs. or even eliminated if necessary, right? And so it's a lie. Don't identify with the idea that you're a consumer, but there is a problem. And that is, if you live in a big city, you're more than likely to be a consumer. And we all consume, that's true. But we also produce, right? And in one of the main areas that we've researched over a long time is how highly evolved societies operate. And they definitely don't live in big cities, right? They live in smallish tribal collectives where everyone is nurturing the soil and bringing it to a higher standard in biodiversity and all that. That's promoting life, right? In a big city, we depend on trucks coming in every day, right? If those trucks stop, we'll see what happened to the toilet paper disappearing off the shelves, right? But, you know, let's not run for the hills, you know, that's not the idea, but just a consciousness issue about that. Yeah, those trucks come in with they use industrial agriculture, and we know that industrial agriculture is very damaging to the soil, right? And then they put chemicals on it to try and make it grow, and it makes it worse, right? And that's not the way, that's not our divine purpose. Our divine purpose is to nurture the earth, not destroy it, right? So it's just a simple mindset idea. So you could say that a consumer identifies with an activist and possibly a victim, right? Don't worry about the classifications. I'm just saying, if you're a producer, you're a creator as well. And then you can work with the idea that we are created in the image and likeness of God, which means we don't look like something like that. We're actually got the same power, right? And acknowledge the power within, right? Another area, another project that we could be working on, or we have been working on for the last 10 years, is possibly intentional community, right? We've got access to thousands of acres of land, and sorry, it's not in Victoria, but Victoria at the time wasn't suitable for what we were trying to do. There's a lot of detail on that. Another misconception or illusion or big lie, however you want to call it, is the idea that we're overpopulated. This is something that's come up over and over and over and over again. Is there too many people in the world? What I say to people who say that we're overpopulated, I say, well, who would you like to get rid of first? Right? And that usually stops the argument, right? It's the wrong consciousness to have. If you have a consciousness that there's too many people in the world, then that's an excuse. If I take it to the extreme, it's an excuse for genocide, right? The spiritual information that we've worked with over the years tells us there is enough for everyone, right? So if you are a producer, you're creating abundance. You know, you're using your God-given power of creation instead of just being a consumer, right? That's really primitive information about one of the early movies that we played, the Land of Ladakh, which is Little Tibet, and they were isolated from the world for hundreds of years. And when you listen to them, to their leaders, or their the way they define economics, they say that we are the true economists. We economize. You guys don't know what economics is, right? So there's a different mindset to that.
George, I'm just aware it's already 12 minutes.
Sorry?
Just aware it's already 12 minutes.
Oh, right, okay. Well, okay, I'm nearly done. I won't go into all the information. I'll just mention the spirit world is instrumental, has been instrumental in producing these conditions over the last year, the lockdown, Great Reset. The reason for that was we needed to wake up to who we are, that we are not disconnected from each other. We're not disconnected from the environment, and the conditions over the last year have changed that. You know, a lot more people are awake. I'll just quickly show you the website. That was last night, Shattering Illusions from Fine to Trial, really powerful stuff, and there's more stuff coming on a Friday night or a Monday night forum. Well, that's today. Anyway, I won't go through it all. But we've got some very powerful stuff on our YouTube channel. I'll just give you a quick preview of that. One of the more powerful presentations we did recently was with a clinical hypnotherapist that used to work here for 9 years. It's called Hypnotherapy Messages Beyond Time and Space, right? So that's information direct from the spirit world, people under very deep hypnosis. And that's where the information came through that the events that have been happening over the last year are orchestrated from the spirit world, right? It's part of it. And it's happening for us, not to us. And so it's a different way of thinking about it. And I'll just mention the weekend events. Now, where's that email? Right, so that was last night. And, there's a Millions March. Yes, tonight we're running just about every Saturday night we're running a cinema. And tonight we're running an interview, a recorded interview of Mark Patelik. Does anybody know Mark Patelik? Yeah, pretty powerful guy. He's also got some bad press, but I'm saying everybody can contribute. He's one of the pioneers of the freedom movement, right? So, you know, if he jumps in the deep end, of course he's going to make mistakes. And so do we all. I've made heaps of mistakes in my life. And the week after, we're doing a live interview with him, right? What else have I got? Anyway, if anybody's interested, put your details down there, and I can send you the newsletter because there's some pretty powerful stuff coming through, and this is a hub for this sort of information. You know, I'm very pleased to be hosting this weekend, and we're going to be here tomorrow and be part of the change. So I'm asking that to happen in return because we need to recognise each other as connected, and we're all on the same side. Let's stop bickering with each other so that we can be an effective force. Okay?
Thank you.
So thank you very much, and enjoy your workshop.
Is tomorrow different to today?
Sorry?
Tomorrow's on there.
Okay,
Next weekend, very good.
yes.
Yeah.